Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back for another Total War video with the Terminator. If you were to ask me, Terminator, what is your favorite Total War era? It would definitely be the medievals. Medieval 2, despite some obvious flaws, was absolutely game-changing and introduced some brilliant new siege mechanics, new campaign features, and honestly, I probably racked up hundreds and hundreds of hours on the expansions alone. Today, we have such massive medieval mods as Stainless Steel or Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD, but one mod I always come back to for a slower paced and more authentic medieval experience is the 1100 AD mod for Rome 2 Total War, which recently has been getting a ton of really fantastic updates. In this video, we're going to talk about everything 1100 AD and have a close look at the exciting last 6 months of development, which include new city battle maps, new Crusades and Jihad scripts, and new playable factions. And by the end of the video, I guarantee if you're a medieval nerd like I am, you will have no choice but to check out this mod for yourself. So let's get started. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about 1100 AD, this is a medieval mod for Rome 2 that essentially aims for an authentic and challenging slow-paced campaign with realistic and at times visually stunning battles. There are hundreds of unique and custom-made units across all of the fleshed-out playable factions, unique scripts that involve the Pope, the Norse invasions of the British Isles, or dozens of emergent factions, and there are difficult campaign mechanics that really make things interesting. We've got unique and historically accurate characters and political parties as well that are not only immersive and brilliant to manage, but also provide some great faction-wide effects. Skills and traits have been overhauled, technologies and diplomatic options have been tweaked and redone, and buildings as well have seen a major rework to suit the time period, with faction-specific buildings, brilliant cultural and military buildings, as well as fantastic-looking UI. Beyond all of this, though, the modders of 1100 AD have done a stellar job so far of pushing the boundaries of Rome 2's modding potential. The best example of this are the city placements, so cities like Venice, Lisbon, and even Constantinople have been moved on the campaign map to be in their actual locations, which has never been done in Rome 2 before. We've also had whole provinces shifted, moved, and split off, as we can see here with some of the new Egyptian provinces. And then there are the units, guys, which just look amazing. What 1100 AD does so well here, what it achieves truly, is getting you to be fully immersed in what's going on in your battles. I'm not sure whether it's the fully challenging and immersive decent AI and its tactics, or the fact that I just want my men to survive. I want to minimize casualties, which is something not many mods, let alone vanilla Total War, can achieve. There are 30 playable factions that are all ready to play. There's a huge variety of recruitable units, mercenaries, area of recruitment opportunities, and naval warfare, and the list goes on and on. So essentially, if you haven't played this mod yet, you definitely should. Now, in the last 6 months though, the 1100 AD modders have done a ton of work to add new, unique campaign scripts, new units and playable factions, new emergent factions, and more. And to be honest, the mod is now better than ever in a way that, for me, puts it almost on par with Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD, which is saying a lot. First and foremost, we have to talk about the Crusades and the Jihad's mechanics. At turn 8 and 12 of the campaign, 2 coalitions of 4 crusading Christian armies will appear to invade the Holy Land and capture Jerusalem. At either of these points, if you're playing as a Christian kingdom like England or France, you will have the opportunity to join the coalitions, of course, and if you are one of the nearby Muslim factions, you will be able to defend the region against the invasion. On the other hand, though, for all Sunni Muslim factions of the mod, we now have a jihad mechanic in which when non-Sunni factions conquer the holy cities of either Mecca, Medina, or Jerusalem, a jihad will be called within 25 turns and act in much the same way as the Crusades, with Sunni coalition armies mobilized to reconquer the lost cities. All of this comes with great rewards, and when various cities are conquered and recaptured, etc., each of these scripts, as you can imagine, will start up again, constantly giving you opportunities to get involved. Now, while these mechanics are great, there are actually a few others that add even more flavor and passion into the mod. When Rome is conquered, for example, the papacy will flee the city, and if you're a Christian faction, you'll get a message like this, and I absolutely love this. Essentially, what it means is you can then go on a kind of Western crusade to liberate Rome and restore the papacy, which, if you manage to do it, will give you 20,000 gold in return and increased relations with all Christian nations. How awesome is that? Finally, we have new scripting events like random Norse invasions off the coast of the British Isles, pirates and raiders that spawn in at various parts of the map to add a bit of challenge, as well as scripted emergent factions including the Kingdom of Aragon and Pamplona, County of Anjou, Commune of Milan, Duchy of Silesia, Duchy of Krakow, the Teutonic Order, and the Second Bulgarian Empire. The mod also now has 30 playable factions, which is huge. The most recent additions are the ever-popular Kingdom of England, which has a new flag now by the way, and the Kingdom of Mercuria, which is a Christian faction with a difficult start position in the middle of present-day Sudan. Plenty more factions are in the works currently behind the scenes, and as new updates have begun ramping up in the last few weeks, I'm sure we'll get some more factions released before the end of the year. Finally, the mod hasn't seen a lot of new units lately, but one unit that I have to talk about is the Greek Scifonatories. Developed by modder Byzantine Centurion from scratch, the Scifonatories is a massively lethal Greek flamethrower unit, which is expensive to recruit and maintain of course, but can act as a massive destructive force to any enemy army on the battlefield. Aside from the fact that they look visually stunning, they're also super fun to play with, so for me anyway, this is definitely a great reason to get back into the mod. Now, while I haven't talked much about the battles, I do know that the modders have been working hard in the background to try and keep things as balanced as possible, constantly look and re-look at rosters and unit stats, and make sure any feedback given by the community is heard and acted on. Nothing official has been said about work on the battles recently, but I'm sure more will be revealed in the near future. Overall, 1100 AD has seen some pretty big changes in the last few months. Some of these updates differentiate the mod itself from MK1212 even more than before, which is a good thing. The Jihad mechanic especially is a really welcome addition. The massive number of unique scripts, interesting and challenging events, and emergent factions definitely add much needed flavor and depth to the mod, and all of these updates definitely make a solid case to get back into 1100 AD and start up a new campaign. And that's it for today, guys. 1100 AD is available on the Steam Workshop, and I've added a link to that in the video description below so you can easily get in there and download the mod. There are some decent sub-mods as well, including music, AI, etc., so make sure to go in there and check them out as well. And finally, there is an 1100 AD Discord server, so if you have any questions, if you want to feedback, make sure to drop in and say hello. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, do give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below, and subscribe for more Total War content, gameplay, and news just like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.